שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. It is so good to be together here in this space, seeing you. I know that more people are on their way in, so I'm going to ask us to sing Hine Ma Tov twice more, because I think there's no way we could express this sentiment too much. That's how good it is. So please join with us. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to those of you who are here under the dome with us, and those of you who are streaming from home and who are on Zoom. We know that right now our community has many needs. Some of us really want to and really can make it work to come back here in these next couple of weeks, and some of us want to remain at home or are otherwise far away from us geographically. Whether you're here or out there, we're all one Kehillah Kedosha, one holy community this evening, and tonight marks a real milestone in the life of our community, regardless of how many of us are here and how many of us are out there in the internet world. Our tradition has some wisdom about what it means to see someone after a long period of time, to reconnect with someone or someone's, or some place that is dear to us after a long period of time. And I'm going to have us say a couple of blessings. First, I want to note that not only are we entering into Shabbat, but we're just at the very beginning of a new month. So it's just been Rosh Chodesh. We're in the month of Tammuz. It feels good to do something new after so many months of not being able to do this, but at the beginning of a new Jewish month. So I hope that you all have a handout that I've prepared for this evening. And some of you saw this because I taught it to you when we gathered outdoors for our nature walk Shabbat morning. About 3 weeks ago. And this top source, it comes from the Talmud, from Brachot, And it tells us that Rabbi Joshua ben Levi said that if you see your friend after 30 days, you should say, "Blessed are you who has kept us in life and has preserved us and enabled us to reach this season." And that is the Shehecheyanu blessing. But he says, if it's been 12 months, you should say, "Blessed are you who restores life to the dead." That's the blessing, the Mechaye Hametim blessing. That blessing is a part of the traditional Amidah prayer, but interestingly, in the Reform movement and the Reconstructionist movement, the words have been changed. So rather than reflecting a belief in the restoration of life to the dead, Mechaye Hametim, we say Mechaye HaKol, God who gives life to everything that lives. The Shulchan Aruch, which is the major code of Jewish law, agrees and says that after 30 days you should say the Shehecheyanu, and after 12 months you should say Mechaye Hametim. But adds that this is for one who is very dear to him and happy when seeing him. Now, I would venture to guess that even if we don't know each other, some of us who are sitting here in the sanctuary, we are all in a certain way very dear to one another because we are all connected by being part of this community. And the same is true for those of us who are not here in the sanctuary tonight, but who are streaming the service or who are on Zoom. So I think it's very appropriate for us to say both of these blessings. And of course, it's been several times 30 days, right? It's been about 15 months. So 30 days times 15. Maybe we should say it 15 times, but I'll maybe not do that in the interest of time. And the Mechaye Hametim blessing after 12 months. So we're beyond even the 12-month period. So I want you to just take a moment to look around at the space that you've missed. Look around. It's a little hard to look around in these pews, but if you can look around you. And those of you who are not with us in the building, you're very much part of this too, because this is a moment for all of us to celebrate. Because those of you who are not with us on this day, God willing, will be with us on another day soon. So I invite everyone to join with me and with Andy O'Connell. So glad Andy is here with us tonight in the Shehecheyanu blessing, and it's there on your handout. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu vekimanu vehigianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu vekimanu vehigianu lazman hazeh. We have one more blessing to say. It begins Baruch atah Adonai and it ends Mechaye Hametim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Mechaye Hametim. It does feel to me, and I think probably for all of you sitting here, and even for those of you at home, that we are having life restored. That though we are still, as a globe, in the midst of a pandemic, that we are moving somewhere, that we are having a new breath of life. We have that sense of restoration and renewal, and so may we continue to feel that. May that increase, and may that become true for all those on earth. We're going to welcome Shabbat with candlelighting now. We're on page 2. Those of you at home, bring your candles to the Zoom screen. Shabbat Shalom and Chodesh Tov. May it be a good new month. So last night, I was thinking about what it would be like tonight. And as I reflected, a poem came to me that I've shared with you on the handout. Forgive me, it's a little bit long. But don't worry, it's in place of a Devar Torah, so you don't need to hear a long poem and a long Devar Torah. This is the Devar Torah. I hope it serves as what Devar Torah means, a word of Torah. I hope it serves to connect you in new ways to both this moment and to Torah. It's called Congregation. When we outgrew cloud and fire, we built a place with our hands and all that we could bring. Strong enough to hold you and us and what we were to each other, but soft enough to come apart and together again wherever we encamped. And later, the place for us grew solid and steady. We brought what we could, but our songs and sacrifices weren't enough to prevent white stone drenched in blood. Our sacred scrolls, menorahs, incense pans, shattered, scattered, and burned. We moved on without cloud or fire or a dwelling place for you, except the words which began to arise in our hearts broken open. Light streamed in and prayers were born. We took our prayers and layered them all over the world, the four corners of the earth and all the lands in between, offered up their languages, their landscapes, their losses, their loves. We wrote you song after song and packed them neatly wherever we traveled. If they were burned again, we built again. We sang them in Prague, in Shanghai, in Calcutta, in Tehran, in St. Petersburg, in Nairobi, even back in Jerusalem and in Boston, and across the vast land of possibility, we built sanctuaries, gilded and glittering, stained glass and marble heard and echoed our praise, our prayers. We gathered under a dome inscribed with the wisdom we carried with us for millennia, and generations knew you in the sound of voices joined in the hard wooden pews and resounding from the balcony beyond. And then we lost our place again. Such a familiar yet unexpected story. We could not be together to say help, thanks, wow. Only single voices could reach across the ether. Without voices joined, could you hear us still? Could we hear you? Our faces and arms and words and melodies tried steadfastly to reach across the screen, across miles of ocean and land, outward to the four corners of the earth. Alone and afraid, we came together to celebrate, to mourn, to honor the passage of time, the holy wonder of life's cycle. No cloud, no fire, no desert Mishkan, no Jerusalem Beit HaMikdash, no gilded dome accompanied us. Just our eyes, our ears, hands and hearts reaching toward one another. And we found in them you. We sustained each other, kept each other in life, enabled each other to reach this day. Returned to this place where we gather together, knowing that you are not above like a dome, or in front or around like a cloud or a pillar of fire, but in us, between us. Be with us now as you were then, Chadesh Yamenu Kekedem, as you were all along, as we were all along, for each other in our time of exile from this place. May the memory of it be a blessing, bringing us always close to each other and to you.
Yesher Koach. Welcome back, angels of Temple Ohabei Shalom. It is so good to see you. Shalom Aleichem. Peace be upon you. Shalom Aleichem to all of our friends on Zoom. It is good to be together in this way again. And I invite you to just look around the room and to wish each other a Shalom Aleichem, a Shabbat Shalom, with your words, with your eyes, with your smiles beneath your masks, to all the faces that you see on the screens in front of you. We welcome back all the angels on page 24 with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Mo'echem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 13, we'll sing Psalm 96. Whether you're here or at home, please clap along, sing the words, sing Yadadai, celebrate with us. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai, ol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai, baruchu shemo, chasu miyom leyom yeshuato, sapru v'goyim kevodo, lechol ha'amim niflotav, yigadol Adonai, u'mehulal me'od, norahu, al kol Elohim, yai lai lai, ki kol Elohei ha'amim elimim, ba'Adonai shamayim asa, oreharat efanav, oseh tiferet lemikdasho, ya lai 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 lai, ya lai 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 lai, ya lai 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 lai, ya lai lai lai, lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai. We'll turn to Lechadodi. We'll say, beloved, come to meet the bride. Beloved, come to greet Shabbat. There's something so special and important about greeting a sacred presence in community. So we say to one another as beloveds here in this community, wherever we may be this evening, beloved, come to meet Shabbat. Pages 20 and 21, verses 1 to 5 and 9. When we get to verse 9, we'll rise and we'll face the door. Lechadodi likrat hala, pnei Shabbat nekapela. Lechadodi likrat hala, pnei Shabbat nekapela. Shamor v'zachor אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לי נתנה, הנה שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לי נתנה, הנה שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לי רצה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לי רצה פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, היבא-אורך, קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לי רצה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לי רצה פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום, עטרת קלה גם בשמחה, ובצולתו אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לי רצה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לי רצה פני שבת נקבלה. I think Shabbat is really excited to be welcomed back in this space and feels very welcomed now after that song. So we're going to turn to our Magadlu round, and yes, it is inspiring for those of us who are here in the building just to be here, but I want to encourage those of you who are at home on Zoom or on Facebook, if you can type in a wow moment from the week that has passed, we would love to hear it. And if any of you, it's a little hard to hear in here with the fans, but if any of you have something you would love to share, would like to stand if you can and just say it loudly, I'd love to hear it. Raise your hand if you have something. Wow. Larry. A crescent sun with the eclipse, right? This Thursday morning. Wow. Wow, indeed. Amazing. Anyone else? Esther. I couldn't hear. Can anyone tell me? Painting? It's your birthday today, Esther? Yom Huledet Sameach. Happy, 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 happy birthday. All right, so I do hope those of you who can type in so that you can still have that harvesting of the wow, I like to call it. As we sing on the top of page 342, some of us sing hallelujah, and I can't believe I'm going to hear some voices besides my own and Andy's. This is going to be amazing. So please do join if you can. Hallelujah, 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 Magadu, Masechaya. מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך, מגדו indeed. We'll turn to page 28 for the Baruch Hu and rise as we are able. Another really Shehechianu moment to hear voices join together in, what's the word? Synchronicity, instead of the cacophony of Zoom. Wow. So please do sing the responsive line, and please, those of you at home also. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. The bottom of page 30. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים. We can be seated.
Sometimes love feels like a soft blanket or a teddy bear or one of our lovely dogs who's not here tonight that we get to snuggle up with and feel that warmth. And sometimes love feels tougher, more rigid. It's the teaching and the lessons we need to learn so that we can grow up and live in the world and be responsible people, good friends, good parents, good children. And God's love encompasses both of those kinds of love and is yet somehow bigger than that. And so we welcome God's love on page 32 with Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu B'shochveinu u'v'kumeinu Nasiach b'chukecha V'nismach v'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negeh yomam v'layla yomam v'layla v'ahavatcha tasir mimenu le'olamim baruch ata Adonai ohev amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Page 36.
You're welcome to be seated. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'aderech u'shochbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם emet. We're not only commanded to love the Lord our God, we're commanded to love our neighbors. And I want to share a poem, a reading tonight from Rabbi Lily Solejchek for the month of June, Pride Month. It's called Birkat HaChodesh Gava, a blessing for Pride Month. May it be your will, our God and God of our ancestors, God of Ruth and Naomi, God of David and Jonathan, God of Joseph, God of all our queer ancestors whose names have been erased, grant this Pride Month bring us joy and celebration, and bestow upon us a long life of safety, a life of healing, a life of employment and housing, a life of love and support, a life of blessing and sharing of gifts, a life free of shame and reproach, a life of friendship, partnership, and love in the ways we wish to give and receive it, a life with dreams of the future. May the one who delivered our ancestors from oppression to freedom redeem us and all marginalized peoples. May the Holy One instill in us the wisdom to know our liberations are entwined together. May the one who creates liberation on high bring liberation to us, to all oppressed communities, and to the entire world. V'nomar, and we say Amen.
Amen.
We sing our song of liberation, Mi Chamocha, on page 40.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osei felet, nora tehilot osei felet. Malchutzecha ra'u v'adnecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze'eli anu ve'ameru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. We'll sing the Hashkivenu blessing on page 42, asking that we lie down in peace and merit the miracle of waking up to a new day tomorrow. Page 42 at the top. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Ushmor tzeteinu uvoenu lechaim u'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. We'll now pray the line of this blessing, Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. When we're beneath this incredible dome, it can feel like an embrace. It can feel comforting. It can feel like it's holding us. The same with a prayer shawl, that imagery of being held. We need to send out that sense of safety and embrace to so many in this world who don't know that sense. And we can know that in some way, access that feeling of peace and security however we can, and then work every day to bring that to others. So we pray, God, spread over us the sukkot of your shalom, the canopy of your peace, and we recommit ourselves to creating a canopy of peace through our words and through our actions. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu Apore sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Israel ve'al Yerushalayim.
We turn now to page 46 for the Amidah. And as Rabbi Berkman said earlier, we say the blessing, Mechaye Meitim, after not seeing somebody for 12 months. There is also a Hasidic tradition that we say that to the parts of ourselves that we haven't used in 12 months, to the parts of our soul, the parts of our body that maybe aren't used to standing up and down so much in services, to being in a room full of people, that sense of security and comfort. To whatever part of ourselves that we have not used and felt as confident in, we bring that sense of healing and welcome as we rise together in body and spirit for the Amidah on page 46.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agil tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, האל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו ביהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים וחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל HaKadosh. We'll take some quiet moments of reflection or prayer, the following blessings in the prayer book, while Andy will play some quiet music. Please take these moments together. We join back together with a prayer for peace on page 62. We'll say Shalom. Oh, say Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru, imru, amen. O say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru, imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
We take a moment tonight to offer a prayer of healing for those we're thinking about who are on our hearts and minds. I don't think for those of us in the room it'll be possible to hear everybody's name out loud. So what I'd like you to do, if you're in this space, is to rise if you'd like to share the name out loud. And I will pass my hand across the room, and you can speak it as my hand goes across, and hopefully those close to you will be able to hear their name, and their name will be brought into the sanctuary. And for those at home, you're welcome to type into the chat. If you'd like to share a name tonight of somebody you're saying a Misha Berach for, please rise. Thank you. As a community tonight, we add the names of Allison Rim, Linda Grossman, Linda Hoffman, Christian Pujado, Michael Sasportas, Ellen and Carl Love, Tom Thomas, David Baruch Ben Lila, Camden Lopez, and Dan Cedroni. We turn to Misha Berach on page 253.
Avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. We turn to page 282 for Aleinu. Please rise in body or spirit as you're able. Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגופי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 287. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
We're welcome to be seated. As we turn to Mourner's Kaddish on page 294 to remember our loved ones who we've lost in recent days and in years past, on the screen tonight will be shared the words of Mourner's Kaddish and those yard sites that our temple observes. And for anybody who is in the space this evening and would like to share the name of a loved one, I'll invite you to do the same thing we just did for the Misha Berach, to rise if you're saying Kaddish, and to share the name aloud with those closest to you as my hand passes. If you're saying Kaddish tonight for a loved one, please rise. Denise. As a community tonight, we're saying Kaddish for Bernie Zatovsky, the father of Sherry Cherwin, father-in-law of Michael Cherwin, grandfather of Hannah, Ashley, and Julia. We turn to page 294. If it is your custom, please rise for Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah. Bi'alma divra chirute, v'amlich malchute, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach le'olam ulamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha berechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Damiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
We're welcome to be seated. Tomorrow morning, you're welcome to join us on Zoom for a Bat Mitzvah Shabbat service. And on Sunday morning, we gather together again. Please join Kayla's Caring Community, Rabbi Berkman, myself, our KCC co-chairs, Jason Soderblum and Larry Green, for what will be a Hine Matov, how good it is to be together occasion. Registration is required. Please let us know if you're interested in joining us, and it'll be from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. in Brookline, and we'll share the location with anybody who is interested in being there. Next Thursday at 9 a.m., please join Rabbi Berkman on Zoom for her class, Torah for the Heart and Mind. And next Friday, we will be back in the sanctuary and on Zoom. We hope you can join us at 6 p.m. And next Saturday will be a Shabbat morning Torah study and service with Shir Chadash. We're going to do Kiddush and Motzi, which can be found on page 5 in your prayer book.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava u'b'ratzon inchiladu. זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המוציא לחם מן הארץ. Amen.
If you're on Zoom this evening after the service, the Zoom will close down. Don't worry, that's not a technical error. If you're in person, please help us by returning your prayer books to where you picked them up, and by wearing your mask so that we can all schmooze safely. I know I will be moving outdoors as quickly as possible to cool down, but I would love to talk to you and see everybody who I haven't seen in a long time.
Yes, we're happy to say hello, preferably outdoors with our masks on. I know that some of us may really want to hug and squeeze each other tight. Some of us are huggers, I'm certainly one, but probably at this point it's best not to unless it is someone you are already in the habit of hugging. We'll still have some caution and some distance, but we will certainly greet each other with our smiles, our smiling eyes. And thank you so much, everyone, for being here. This was an absolute gift to be here with all of you. Thank you so much, Andy, for your beautiful music. And thank you, Sherry, working behind the scenes. Thank you, Nathan, for helping usher, and Spence. And thank you to Stacy and to Elizabeth, also working behind the scenes to make tonight possible. And last but not least, Josh, who's running tech in a very complicated way up there in the balcony, and you didn't even know it. Thank you, Josh. We'll close with Olam Chesed Yibaneh. It's on your handout if you need the words. Let's recommit ourselves to building a world from love. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Ta-da-dai, dai-dai, ya-da-dai-dai. 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 I will build this world from love. Da-da-dai, dai-dai, ya-da-dai-dai. And you must build this world from love. Ya-da-dai, dai-dai, ya-da-dai-dai. And if we build this world from love, ya-da-dai, dai-dai, ya-da-dai-dai, then God will build this world from love. Ya-da-dai, dai-dai, ya-da-dai-dai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. 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 Ya-da-dai, dai-dai, ya-da-dai-dai. Shabbat Shalom.